Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your news edition. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, welcomes the President of the Republic of Mozambique, Daniel Francisco Chapo. The President of the Republic and several ministers hold talks with their Mozambican counterparts. The President of the Republic and his Mozambican counterpart signed several agreements and memoranda of understanding in several sectors of bilateral cooperation. And the Pavilion of Mechanical Industries attracts the investors, and several Algerian companies work to increase the integration rate. Welcome back. The President of the Republic of Mozambique, Daniel Francisco Chapo, continued his work visit to Algeria. He was given an official welcome at the Presidency of the Republic by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. After listening to the national anthems of the two countries and hailing the flag, the two presidents reviewed detachments of different forces of the People's National Army that rendered them the honors. The President of the Republic and his guest took a memorial photo before the national and foreign press. Then the President of Mozambique hailed the high government executives, the Director of the Cabinet of the Presidency of the Republic, the Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, the State Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad and the African Affairs. For his part, the President of the Republic hailed the members of the high-level delegation accompanying the President of Mozambique. The ceremony followed up as the President of Mozambique hailed the State Minister, Minister of Energy, Mines and Renewable Energy, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, the Minister of National Education, the Minister of Culture and Arts, the Minister of Sports, the Minister of Youth, the Minister of Foreign Trade and Export Promotion, the Minister of Tourism and Crafts, the Minister of Communication, and the advisor of the President of the Republic in charge of diplomatic affairs. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, held talks with the President of Mozambique, Daniel Francisco Chapo. Then the talks were extended to the delegations of the two countries. They discussed the reinforcement of the bilateral partnership and the common interest issues. Following the extended talks, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, co-chaired with his Mozambican counterpart Daniel Francisco Chapo a signing ceremony of several agreements and memoranda of understanding in several sectors of bilateral cooperation.
راسم التوقيع على الاتفاقيات بين الجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية وجمهورية موزمبيق. برنامج تنفيذي في مجال الثقافة والفنون للسنوات 2025-2028 الموقعان عن الجانب الجزائري السيد زهير بللو وزير الثقافة والفنون، عن الجانب الموزمبيقي السيدة ساماريا فيليمونتوفيلا وزيرة التعليم والثقافة. بروتوكول تعاون بين الإذاعة الجزائرية والإذاعة الموزمبيقية الموقعان عن الجانب الجزائري السيد عادل سلاقشي المدير العام للإذاعة الوطنية، عن الجانب الموزمبيقي السيدة إيميليا مويان مديرة مكتب موزمبيق للإعلام. اتفاق في مجال الإعلام والاتصال الموقعان عن الجزائر يوقع السيد محمد مزيان وزير الاتصال، عن الجانب الموزمبيقي توقع السيدة ماريا مانويلا دوس سانتوس لوكاس وزيرة الشؤون الخارجية والتعاون. اتفاق تعاون في مجال التعليم العالي والبحث العلمي يوقع عن الجزائر السيد كمال بداري وزير التعليم العالي والبحث العلمي، توقع عن الجانب الموزمبيقي السيدة ساماريا فيليمونتوفيلا وزيرة التعليم والثقافة. اتفاق تعاون في مجال الأمن والنظام العام يوقع عن الجزائر السيد إبراهيم مراد وزير الداخلية والجماعات المحلية والتهيئة العمرانية، توقع عن الموزمبيق السيدة ماريا مانويلا دوس سانتوس لوكاش وزيرة الشؤون الخارجية والتعاون. مذكرة تفاهم حول المشاورات السياسية يوقع عن الجزائر السيد أحمد عطاف وزير الدولة وزير الشؤون الخارجية والجالية الوطنية بالخارج والشؤون الإفريقية، عن الجانب الموزمبيقي توقع السيدة ماريا مانويلا دوس سانتوس لوكاش وزيرة الشؤون الخارجية والتعاون.
Still at the presidential headquarters, ministers from several sectors met with their Mozambican counterparts. More details with Daniel Bahri.
Algerian and Mozambican officials held several meetings to strengthen cooperation between the two countries. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, met with Maria Manuel dos Santos Lucas, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Mozambique. Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, the Army General Said Shangriha, held talks with Cristóvão Arthur Chume, Minister of National Defense of Mozambique. In the economic field, Minister of Foreign Trade Kemal Erzig met with the advisor of the President of Mozambique for Economic Affairs and Development. In Education and Research, Minister of Higher Education Kemal Buddari met with Samaria dos Anjos Filmontovela, Minister of Education and Culture of Mozambique, who also held talks with Mohamed Sghir Saadawi, Algeria's Minister of National Education. In tourism, the Minister of Tourism, Houria Madahi, met with her Mozambican counterpart. The Minister of Culture, Zuhair Billalu, met with Matilde Martins Mouka, Secretary of State of Arts and Culture of Mozambique. Algerian culture, sports and youth ministers held talks with their Mozambican counterparts to boost cooperation.
Then the president of Mozambique visited the sanctuary of the martyr, where he laid a wreath of flowers and observed a moment of silence in the memory of the martyrs of the glorious National Liberation War. The Mozambican president was accompanied by the state minister, Minister of Energy, Mines and Renewable Energy, Mohamed Al-Qab. And from the balcony of the sanctuary, the president of Mozambique enjoyed the panoramic view of the Algiers Bay, before visiting the National Museum of Mujahid, where he listened to a detailed presentation of the different periods of the struggle of the Algerian people through history, from popular resistance to the National Liberation War. After that, he signed the museum's Golden Book. The president of Mozambique visited the Jama' al-Jazair. He was accompanied by the state minister, Minister of Energy, Mines and Renewable Energy, Mohamed Al-Qab. Upon his arrival, he was welcomed by the rector of the mosque. The Mozambican president listened to a detailed presentation of the different structures of this high place of worship and its architecture inspired by the Algerian patrimony. At the end of the visit, the President Daniel Chapo signed the Golden Book of Jama' al-Jazair. We listen to the President of the Republic of Mozambique, Daniel Francisco Chapo.
Obrigado.
I thank the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, Abdelmajid Tebboune, for the warm welcome. Mozambique is among the countries that were inspired by the Algerian Revolution. We achieved our independence by drawing inspiration from it. The relations of cooperation between Mozambique and Algeria are excellent. Today we are working to strengthen these ties, especially in the economic field, as well as in other areas such as energy, renewable energy, the pharmaceutical industry, global training, and the services sector. We have signed many agreements and memorandums of understanding with Algeria, which reflect the strong and deep-rooted relations that unite our two countries.
The President of the Republic of Mozambique, Daniel Francisco Chapo, finished his work visit to Algeria. Upon his departure at the Houari Boumediene International Airport, he was hailed by the President of the Council of the Nation, Aziz Nasri. On the sideline of the IATF, the acting Prime Minister of Sifir chaired on Saturday a welcoming ceremony in honor of the representatives of the national community abroad taking part in the works of the African Diaspora's Day. On this occasion, Sifir reiterated his call to the Algerian professionals, wherever they are, to participate in the development of a national automobile industry. We listen.
Le lancement d'un avis d'appel à manifestation d'intérêt pour la mise en place.
The launch of a call for expressions of interest was made for the creation of councils made up of senior experts in vehicle construction and spare parts. We received around 2,500 applications, including about 500 candidates from the Algerian diaspora. These councils will be responsible for drafting and proposing the roadmap and strategy of the Algerian state regarding vehicle construction and spare parts.
The acting Prime Minister affirmed that there are several examples of Algerians living abroad involved in developing the country. We'll listen.
J'ai eu affaire à plusieurs de nos cadres de la diaspora et je me souviens très bien lors de mon...
I have worked with many of our experts from the diaspora, and I remember very well in my professional career when we built the first oil well with Algerian cement. It's now certified by the American Petroleum Institute in Massachusetts. This was thanks to one of our diaspora experts who helped us greatly, and thanks to his help we were able to carry out this project. The same happened for other projects, which I don't have time to list now. I just want to tell you one thing. This work with our diaspora started a long time ago, and now we must focus and strengthen our efforts within the framework of the mutualization of national economic effort.
nos efforts. C'est donc
The African ministers meeting at the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair unanimously called for speeding up the full implementation of the AFCFTA and suggested the creation of regional value chains to boost exports and the intra-African trade. Najah Diyar has the details.
Achieving a fully integrated African market is a monumental challenge, requiring major infrastructure investment, strong cross-border logistic corridors, modernized legal frameworks, and bold investor incentives, crucial steps to unlock and accelerate the intra-African trade. To date, 54 countries have ratified the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. This massive adherence illustrates not only the political will of our leaders, but also their legal commitment to gradually removing the obstacles that hinder trade and investment on the continent. Today, we are facing structural challenges that have pushed the continent to turn to external markets instead of prioritizing the intra-African trade. It is time to correct this trajectory by implementing a solid strategy focused on developing production capacity and industrialization, while also connecting investors and creating genuine opportunities. As the continent's third largest economy and a gateway between Africa, Europe and the Mediterranean, Algeria intends to leverage its infrastructure and logistical capacities to support the effective implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. This forum is a valuable opportunity to exchange our visions on ways to overcome the challenges and thus boost the intra-African trade. It is also an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to fully realizing the African Continental Free Trade Area as a key instrument for sustainable development, investment promotion and job creation for the youth of our continent. It is time to build a genuine African market based on exchanges between the Africans. Today, intra-African trade is far below expectations, almost marginal. It is therefore urgent to initiate a new dynamic to strengthen it further. This gathering is thus an opportunity to give a strong push to the trade between the continent's countries. The discussions, rich and candid, allowed the participants to put forward concrete ideas to give a new momentum to the African Continental Free Trade Area. Today, it is our duty to reassess the path we have taken and to define the necessary steps to transform the African Continental Free Trade Area into a prosperous space driven by investment and trade. The challenge now is to transform this political will into concrete action so that the African Continental Free Trade Area becomes not just an agreement on paper, but a powerful engine driving Africa's development and economic transformation.
At the exhibition palace, the participants are seeking to build partnerships and showcase their various products such as natural cosmetics, motor oils and agricultural fertilizers are among the items on display at the Zimbabwe pavilion. Details with Najah Diyar.
Highlighting a wide range of products at the intra-African trade fair, the Zimbabwean pavilion stands out as a true showcase of the country's wealth and economic dynamism. Our presence here is essential to promote our natural cosmetic products and to establish partnerships with the Algerian operators. We are very happy to be here in Algeria to take part in this major event and to discover the country. through a diversified offering in several fields, ranging from agricultural fertilizers to natural cosmetic products and much more. The Zimbabwean pavilion illustrates the country's economic potential, reflecting the richness of its economy, also its promising investment prospects. This event represents a major opportunity to showcase our products, particularly car lubricating oils, a strategic sector capable of boosting trade across the continent. We aspire to expand our investments in Algeria in the near future. We are here to broaden our horizons in Africa, particularly in the Algerian market, and we look forward to making this goal a reality. Algeria's central role in consolidating a common foundation for a continental economy is confirmed, and that is by the opening of new partnership prospects and the strengthening of the intra-African trade, highlighted through this exhibition.
And one of the pavilions that attract investors is the Mechanical Industries Pavilion, a promising sector where several Algerian companies are active and aim to increase the integration rate. It was inaugurated on Friday by the Minister of Foreign Trade. More details with Daniel Bahri.
Vision, expertise and ambition. These guide the journey of Ali, a young Algerian entrepreneur who makes spare parts. He presented his company's new innovations at the Intra-African Trade Fair. From idea to reality, Ali now wants to expand into new markets. His story shows the strength of Algerian industry to compete at both regional and international levels. We work as subcontractors for big international companies. Today we have more than 200 employees. By the end of the year, we plan to grow to 600 workers. Ali's story is only one example. At the trade fair, many other entrepreneurs also stood out with their made in Algeria skills in mechanical industries and subcontracting. With diverse products and advanced technology, they are proven that they can compete with the world's largest companies. Our factory can produce more than 10 million automotive brake parts each year, with an integration rate above 70%. We are here at the IATF to present our products to our African brothers with the goal of soon entering the African market. Thanks to state support programs and facilities, these entrepreneurs are showing their creativity and originality through innovative projects. Over the past 5 years, Algeria has implemented an ambitious strategy in the automotive industry. It aims to develop this sector within a value chain approach, relying on investment that integrate complete production lines capable of reaching an integration rate of at least 30%. By focusing on the automotive sector, Algeria aims to create a competitive industry capable of meeting local needs while reaching African and global markets.
And with this, we come to the end of our edition. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Have a good night.